Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
Ready. Shot, 17.
Throwing to start here is Tua. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Well, no hesitation there. Not only do they throw it on their first play, Charles, they throw it into double coverage and complete it.
They might as well have gone to a podium and just announced, we're not going to be challenged or bullied in this game. We're taking a fight to you, just like they did right there on the first rep.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Tua. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Open man downfield is Hill. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Here we go. Black shot.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
But they've been fighting and scratching and clawing for that first sack in the game, and it turns out to be a big one. Not just a short one right there behind the line. First one they get, 10-plus yards, and the guy has the legs to escape most of these.
After the sack on first down, Tua to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, only their first drive, Charles, but they talked to us about needing to convert on 3rd down, in particular not letting 3rd and short opportunities slip through their fingers. Well, they were successful right there.
It also tells you that they're successful on 1st and 2nd.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league.
They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. And the pass to Henry is intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. This defense for the Patriots, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Tua's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Red, cycle.
Tua sets up to pass it. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. He'll dump this down to Stevenson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards the pickup there.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
To throw is Rodgers. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Checking this down to Stevenson. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Rodgers with a keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Stevenson gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had 1 pick. Could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. Succop's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. On play action, here's Tua. And going deep for Hill. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
To the right side, this is Stevenson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Rodgers. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Stevenson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down.
I'm not sure that the surprise was that they actually faked it. That's classic territory to go ahead and do it. The surprise to me is that they were successful. I'm not sure the defense was really prepared.
And now they're going to keep the drive alive here. Really big play on the fake punt. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And caught by Henry. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Now Rodgers. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Kendrick Bourne, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point up and good by Succop, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Let's go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Here we go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jalen Mills.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll get this into the hands of Stevenson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Here's Stevenson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They go option right on 2nd and goal. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Succop's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Tua, a final shot before half. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the 3rd quarter is underway. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now Tua. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your...
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the Pats are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers buying time to his left. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Rodgers now on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He's going to look downfield for Henry. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He finds his man complete. That's Townsend. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also...
And this is going to be intercepted. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got to move him downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football. And then ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taken at the... Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 15 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fields this way up at the 17. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. From the gun, it's Stevenson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll let this go deep for Bourne. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Black shot.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tua to throw again. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And Wilson with it, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Tua setting up shop to throw again. This is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Austin Eckler. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So an important touchdown right there, as now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator, and they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter, and I don't see them looking back.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Open man down the field is Henry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have it here just past the 25. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think he's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Fielded right around the 8. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Play action. Now it's Tua. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And going deep for Hill. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Patriots are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Rodgers now to throw. Out right to Bourne. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They set up the screen for Stevenson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Rodgers going to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Lamb. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. On play action, now Rodgers. Henry's got it, out on the left side. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Ready, set. Yellow blue. Roster, 6.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. The partner under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up